Microsoft hosted a Customer Success Stories webinar focused on how AI is transforming government and education industries. This webinar was in partnership with Zamo.ai, the Microsoft Azure Generative AI Accelerator. The event featured an exciting lineup of guest panelists, including CIOs and thought leaders from the City of Atlanta, Montgomery County, Maryland, California State University, Chico, and McKinsey Company. They shared invaluable insights into how AI is driving innovation and transformation in government and education. Montgomery County showcased Monty 2.0, an advanced chatbot revolutionizing resident services with features like real-time election updates and information about leaf collection. Atlanta emphasized a community-driven approach with an integrated CRM system and AI chatbot for seamless constituent interactions. Meanwhile, Chico State highlighted democratizing AI across campus, empowering departments to develop tools like multilingual support bots and advising assistants. Let's see what other AI-driven innovations these organizations are implementing to further advance meaningful change for their communities.
We looked to see where we could add more resources to like tier 1 and tier 2 services for our residents. And so we worked on those kinds of organizational efficiencies. But then at the same time, we worked with our partners at Microsoft and Zamo to create new communication channels so that residents would have more options than simply just calling in to 311. And so the two solutions that we came up with, as Skylar alluded to in a very rapid fashion, were a virtual chatbot on the HHS vaccination hotline for those that I'm sure everyone was in this boat to try to learn when they were eligible for the first round of vaccines. So we were able to, I think in a matter of days, just place that chatbot on the HHS phone line so that we could screen for criteria before the resident were to be in contact with the representative. We were really pleased with both how quickly we could implement these solutions and offer our residents more channels to reach us to obtain services that they needed.
What do we see in really successful public sector agencies? You know, it's where you've identified a pain point, right? So it might be something like processing applications for funds, right? And really understanding how that thing connects to a critical mission goal. So it's always anchored on something that is relevant and matters, but it's small enough and I think risk controlled enough that you can pilot an AI model, right? So take that processing of applications and say, look, I'm going to pilot an AI model to triage cases. I'm going to flag the urgent ones for prioritized response, and maybe I'm going to automatically kick back incomplete forms, right? That doesn't just solve an immediate backlog. It demonstrates to the rest of the org what AI can achieve in workflow, right? It's almost like you are now establishing the value of the technology because you started with something real. And it's an outcome that's measurable. And at the end of that pilot, the agency has some momentum to go and scale. So it's those public sector agencies that are increasingly, you know, they're increasingly sharing that when they implement AI in a way that's aligned with real measurable needs, it's setting them up for success across the enterprise. Where we see really successful AI in public sector, it's where they're really taking a bottom up or top down and bottom up approach, right? Strategic and tactical at the same time. You're starting with AI initiatives that align with the overarching mission goals, right? And you really have a purpose for it. You want to serve your constituents better. You want to make things more painless. You want to make things more personalized. You're really starting with a strategic goal and a so what. It's that type of mentality where people see it as a journey, not just as just clanking away the louder and the louder you get. I think that's where you tend to see successful and what we call enduring adoption, right? It's the thing that if they come back 10 years from now, it's not just still there, it's better. You've grown, it's expanded, more sophisticated. You've got more users and hopefully there's a lot more excitement.
after working with Microsoft, we learned about Zamo, which leveraged Gen AI, which had one cost for unlimited number of chatbots. But the most important thing that we really liked about this approach was that IT didn't need to be the gatekeeper to AI. We could effectively democratize AI if we could train our colleagues in the college to leverage this tool and develop their own. They could input their own data and develop their own chatbots. And with the model of importing and exporting code, which was so easy, we could easily export chunks that we found relevant and import them into other models and collaborate more effectively in that regard. So Zamo was a great way to democratize AI, and it was really easy to import our existing KB into it. So it was, and it brought that Gen AI feel. Furthermore, it had some integrations that I thought was really nice. Like, we're a big team shop over here. I'm sure you're happy with that. But as a Teams user, we had some live agent integrations with Teams. So that was and integrated with our phone system as well. So a lot of value there, and really liked the ability to democratize AI.
We had started with, and especially this 2.0 version of Monty had moved to, we had 3,000 knowledge base articles and dozens of languages, having that chatbot propped up on the 311 website. We've since then, over the fall, in time for both election season and leaf collection, we added in new data sources. So we used API calls to go and capture our leaf collection database. And now users can go in there and not only just get some general information or go to a page to go submit a service request. Now they can punch in their address and immediately get information on when leaf collection is going to be, when that vacuum truck's coming down their street and is going to come take away their leaves. And we did the same thing for elections with that as well, where they could go in, they could punch in their zip code, go find where a ballot drop box was, where they could go to early vote based on their address, or when it came to election day itself, where their precinct was to go and vote. And we're still looking to expand in that area. We have a whole bunch of use cases that we're currently evaluating and analyzing on our backlog, including timely right now in Maryland, snow removal, bus times, just a whole bunch of items in that area that our customers are asking for. And we're really looking forward to building in those functionalities and meeting their needs there.
We are working on developing another bot to help with student advising and to really make advising more of a service point, as opposed to really only making it such that, again, to address the students when they need someone and someone is not here. Is that 24/7? Where you're trying to figure out what classes do I need to take in order to graduate? Or I'm a prospective student and I'm thinking about coming to Chico State. What majors can I take if I've already taken these advanced placement courses in high school? It's like, how do I talk to someone if I'm having trouble with my grades? How can we do early interventions to help students that have issues with academic achievement? So those are the things that we're currently working on with the advising bot. But I'll let Steve talk about what we currently have in place with our current customer service bot.
It's pretty exciting, the integrations we have. First of all, the live agent integration with Teams is awesome, with an experimental feature that we're testing, which translates, if they're not speaking English, to English for the service desk and back and forth, so that the service desk is fluent in many languages. Opening tickets with our ticketing system and checking in the status of your ticket. What's the status of my ticket? Who last helped me? Who can I call about this ticket? So that's all built in. Integration, what's my class schedule? That's built in now. There's self-harm detection to say, hey, this user seems like they're having a difficult time. Give them resources. We have responses for that. And then we've also gone forward with customized Power BI reporting that we can roll out to different customers. So if we do have more and more onboarded customers, they can see how their bot's being leveraged. And some of the feedback I'm getting is just feedback you don't get from your average bot, but Gen AI really has that human feel to it.
So first, we're light years ahead of where we were when we launched in March of 2023. We recently launched in December a new fully integrated CRM system that brought all the wraparound services, again, listening to the customers. When you interact with cities, we tend to be siloed. And from a constituent or a business, you look at the city as one place. So it's creating that one channel or even multi-channels, but that one experience where if you're calling about watershed or if you're texting about watershed, you get that same experience regardless of that entry point. We also launched 2 proof of concept avatar kiosks at City Hall, leveraging Azure OpenAI, and that's been fun. That's one of the more exciting projects because now people can come to City Hall and they don't have to go to the service desk. They can go to an avatar and have a conversation.
That the partnership with Microsoft and Zamo was really, really vital in also helping this move forward. And I always say that if I don't have resources internally, I look to the ability to accelerate my project outcomes by really partnering with solution providers that can help me accelerate those project outcomes without necessarily hiring folks that would need to be on the team.
The development was the heavy lifting. The ongoing maintenance and operations is extremely light because of all of the integrations. This was one of the easier implementations that we've had here at the city.